Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishnan. Basically, this is formula number part 108th number part. Here, basically, still basically we have not started the formula, exact formula of the project management plan. Then each and every attributes we have not started actually. So here, basically, we are discussing about that question. Basically, that is what actually the Bollywood is and how basically Bollywood are connected with the software industry basically. So here we will be going to take one more example that is basically you can say one person basically asked that how many types of basically Bollywood has created the energy basically. Then basically the person told that that basically depends upon the category of film basically the Bollywood groups do. According to that only basically the energies are going to generate and how basically this energy each and every categories are going to connect to the software industry. Then basically the one person who was going to give answer he basically given one story and answered the person in this format. That is basically for example there are many types of stories basically in Bollywood you can say. One is horror movie, romantic movie, then action movie you can say. Then basically the mixed movie means all basically contains inside it. Then basically documentary movie. Then basically drama also you can say. Then basically few people says that theater also there. Theater groups are also there basically. Who says that many people says that entire Bollywood industry is controlled by theater group also. So this type of things are also there basically. So basically, before movie, basically the serial comes into the picture. But serial before serial, basically theater also comes into the picture. So in this Mumbai, basically you can say there are many theaters. Basically, you can say which plays lots of roles basically on the Bollywood basically. So wherever UK, if you can say basically entire Bollywoods are controlled from the theater, then also it would be 100% correct basically whatever the changes you want to do there basically happens each and every things are basically controlled. So like this basically romantic horror each and every things basically are the category wise. So I will how basically this is going to connect to the text I software industry basically. So here I will take one example of the text box equal to 2000 cities creation. Text box are created on the base of 2000 city creation. So basically, if you are going to type text box in text box, basically romantic, so that basically text box is uh, going to connect to the each and every romantic places basically, which basically is already created long before basically we can say. So it is physically going to connect because this basically is connected with this energies basically. For example, some text box is there, and the text box basically is telling that you have to type some movie categories basically. Here basically we can take as a combo basically. So the combo works because combo basically contains each and every fixed data basically. So romance categories or this all are basically fixed data, and it's going to be selected from the combo box. So like this basically whenever he selects the combo box, it directly connects to the each and every romantic places, horror places. Like this basically the physical uh, places gets connects to the um, physical places basically connects to the you can say the to the software energy basically. Yeah. Because the software is basically selecting the horror romantic and theater basically theater is also there theater basically theater is also connecting the Bollywood industry because lots of people says that nobody know about the theater but basically the entire Bollywood basically if we can say that it's controlled by theater groups then would be it might be 100% correct basically. So like this basically theater can also be added in this category side basically. Then basically according to that basically each and every energy gets connected to the software basically you can say. So like this basically the creation happens according to the selection of the data basically that also is. So like this basically the Bollywood had directly connected to the system basically. That is basically any of the system basically. For example, Bollywood groups are telling that if you want to create one system, in the basically software basically, then basically it's going to 100% going if, and basically that groups are telling that we are going to generate this as a human need purpose also basically, then basically you can just imagine the budget also Bollywood groups might be having. So basically, to create one human needs basically the more than 20 to 30,000 crores rupees is required. Is a minimum basically. I'm telling. So like this basically the, because it's connecting to the nuclear plant also, and energy plants and the power plants also, and to create the software basically you have to take lots of groups permission, power companies, then Microsoft, then wherever basically you are going to develop the software like dot, if you are developing .NET, then basically it's a Microsoft, PHP, then Python, SAP is there, Salesforce is there, C is there, C++ is there, Java is there, then basically where COBOL is there, mainframe is there, then basically where you are going to create the system basically. So on the base of that, basically you have to take the permission from each and every group. They are going to send you the SDK tools. There basically you are going to install the software. Then basically the coding starts. So the base creation is already ready basically from the software company. They have designed the entire base basically. Like this, basically lots of things are there basically which gets connect to each and every place, basically each and every things basically. So like this, basically you can say the Bollywood industry is telling that we are basically connected with each and everything basically, and the hierarchy of the Bollywood can be basically theater also, because uh, directly basically nobody creates the movie, that is 100% sure basically, because whenever the movie gets creates, the software companies gets exist, software company gets connected to it, and lots of things happens, lots of expenses are there. So basically, lots of energy gets connects basically, because the physical people are connecting to the studios. There basically each and every energies are getting connected. Like this, basically lots of things happen. So basically, directly never, directly nowadays basically nobody creates the movie without any R&D, or without any experiment, or without any verification, or without any visualization basically. When the theater basically the certain scenes are going, certain certain categories plays are going, that time basically few experts are there who directly judge the things basically, how it is going to look into the serial basically, how it is going to look into volume, into into movie, and how basically it is going to, and few basically experts are up to that level that they can able to say that how basically the human needs the things basically human needs, the picture want to movie want to create, that is going to create, or it's going to create up to what quality level basically it's going to create. So up to that level basically experts are available. So by theater basically only, by doing the theater only basically groups, lots of people basically can do the judgment basically. So you can just imagine the criticality level, and the basically you can say the seriousness basically of the movie basically, because nowadays movies groups are telling that we have already jumped into the human needs creation, that's why basically. So human needs creation has already started by the Bollywood group, Hollywood groups. So they have already jumped into the human needs creation. That means they have these groups are basically then, after creation, lots of human needs. And basically this might be the chain long before also. They have done this chain long before also. First theater, and then basically the serials, then basically that see, and that each and every parts basically has to convert to the movie basically. Like means stories basically, guess how the stories are going to be look, how the um, visualization is going to be look, each and everything basically connects to the energies only basically by default basically, you can say how it is going to be look. So because nowadays lots of people says that whatever things is going to be generated, we basically the energy groups creates in advance basically. For example, the popcorn is there. So popcorn basically when you create, then that is basically created from on the base of that movie basically. So that movie is creating the lots of human needs basically. In that basically one of the human needs is popcorn. So basically that human, the whatever the energy basically they want to spread from that movie, that is getting spread basically by default basically. popcorn is there, samosa is there, and then lots of basically human needs are getting created. Lots of cold drink companies are also telling that we are taking the requirements from the movies and directly sending the cold drinks to the theaters, and like this the and like this also we are spreading the energy. This is also there, and like this there are lots of things basically which is directly connecting to the Bollywood, and lots of things has already done, that also is there. And each and every energies are basically created before the movies also. So whenever the movie is going to launch, that time basically the human needs are already inside the theater basically, that also you can say. So people are having that human needs also, that is basically popcorn, samosas, cold drinks, and lots of stuffs are water. Even basically water industry also have jumped into this in the movie, in the Bollywood industry, Bollywood, to creating the Bollywood energy basically, to creating the Hollywood energy. Like this, basically, you can just imagine the energy level of the Bollywood industry, which basically is already created and already earned lots of money. Basically, even the basically software industries are telling that we say that our software basically, that is SAP companies created from the one of the stories basically, then also it would not be wrong basically. The software company is Microsoft is telling that we are created from this movie stories basically. If Salesforce is selling that, if SAP is selling that we are created from this user story, that is basically movie story, then it would be 100% correct. Then basically each and everything basically says that few things are basically created on the base of the Bollywood world. Basically, you can say Bollywood industry. Basically, you can say where lots of software companies are created on the base of Bollywood industry. Basically. Lots of means each and every. If I can say that entire software industry is created on the base of Bollywood story, and each and every movies, which movies basically, that is basically one dictionary, you can say. The dictionary contains the software company's name, that from on the base of these user stories basically these companies created. Like this basically lots of stuffs are there basically in the Bollywood industry, you can say, which are directly connected to the software industry. So here basically we are discussing how the Bollywood Hollywood industry are connected with the software industry, but it's totally reverse basically. The software industry basically are created from the on the base of Bollywood basically, that you can say. So software industry has been created from the Bollywood and Hollywood stories and the user stories, that also you can say basically, like that basically. Like this basically, this is the 108th number part, and in 109 basically we are going to discuss a little bit more about the Bollywood industry, Hollywood industry, then the formulas, then the project management plan, then the formulas, then the attributes of the formulas. Thousands of attributes are there, thousands of formulas are there, and the balance sheet basically, the lots of balance sheet are there of the each and every attribute. So that is each and everything we are going to discuss.